Okay, now we'd like to learn the D major chord, the open string D major chord. And we're going to start out by placing our first finger, the pointer finger, on the second fret of the third string. Now you should know when you hear someone say put your first or second or third finger on a fret, that's really not exactly what is meant. When you say on a fret, it's really right behind the fret. The best sound that you can get is to put your finger as close to the fret as possible without touching the fret. So literally, you don't want to go on the fret. That would be a terrible sound. And you don't want to get too far away from the fret. You want to get as close as you can. Now that being said, there's some chords when you have two fingers that are adjacent on the same fret, one of the fingers can't get as close as the other finger. But we'll talk about that when we talk about the A chord. But anyway, back to the D chord. Our first finger is on the second fret of the third string. Once again, here's the close-up. Okay, now we're going to keep that finger where it is. We're going to take the third finger and put it on the fret, right next to the third fret on the second string. So again, it's right next to the fret. Now sometimes as a beginner, the third finger is the weakest finger. And a lot of times what will happen is you see the curve in my first knuckle, you do that, it collapses. And if you collapse that finger, it's going to push against the other string and make that string unplayable. So you want to keep on the fingertips. The way you want to use your fingertips and curve your finger over, sometimes it's hard to do if you're holding the guitar wrong. So of course you want to have that balance in the guitar, of the guitar under your right arm, balanced. But if you have the neck too close to your body, then your elbow is going to be turned in too close to your body. Your elbow should not be touching your body. If you push the neck out a little bit away from you, it's going to bring your elbow out, and it's going to be easier to use your fingertips and not the flat part of your fingers. All right, so we have, again, to review that. First finger, third string, second fret. Third finger, second string, third fret. And then we're going to take our middle finger and put it on the second fret of the first string, this note. So we have this note, first finger, second fret, third string. Third finger, third fret, second string. And then the first string, second finger, second fret. Now we put those all down, and you can start on any finger you want. It's probably good to start on the first finger, but if it's easier to start on the third finger and then put the other two down, that's fine too. But if we set those down, we want to be on the fingertips, close to the fret, not touching the fret. That's the best sound. And we're going to strum this from the fourth string with our pick. And here it is. That is D major. Here it is as an arpeggio, one note at a time. Now if you're playing this and it's muffled, the way you can check, now I'll play it muffled, okay? So let's say we have this sound. Now what you do is hit one note at a time with your pick, so you can see what string is bad. Keep adjusting, pushing hard. It might take it'll feel like it's taking all your might to push, but try to do it. Get a sound. Push, adjust, push, adjust. If you get a good sound, take a rest. Rest your hand, get the blood flowing back. Put your fingers back on it. You try it again, you adjust. You get a good sound. The most important thing is to play the right fingerings and to get a sound. That's what you want to do when you're learning any of these chords. This particular chord, of course, is D major. So once you can get a sound, that might take anywhere from 2 minutes to 2 days, maybe even 2 weeks. Just keep at it. Once you get a sound, then you want to memorize where your fingers are going to go. So now I can play. Once I've set it up, I can get it, and I can play a nice sound. Then you want to practice lifting your fingers up, putting them back down. So you can get that D chord quickly, and you don't have to think about it. The other thing you can do is it's okay in most cases to play 5 strings on this chord, to hit the open A, the 5th string too, for a little deeper sound. So here it is 4 strings, which is totally correct. And here it is 5 strings, which is also correct. Okay? So that is D major. I should mention that you do not want to play the E, okay, on the bottom. That really doesn't belong, especially in the bottom part of the chord. All right? You don't want to play that sound because that E is going to clash. It's not going to blend. Now on top, I should mention, if you take that finger off and add the E there, it's kind of a nice sound. So sometimes a note is not particularly wrong within a chord, but it's in the wrong spot. And putting the E on the bottom, the lowest note, is not good on the D chord. So you want to avoid the 6th string.